This is your Daily 5 for Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Weirdly, today and tomorrow's fives are both on topics I had zero interest in talking about, really, but because I found out random facts about each thing, now I feel like I have something to say, which is just it does not happen like that with consecutive fives very often. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the Melania Trump documentary, which I did mention briefly as part of my five last week on Tim Cook and Apple, but outside of that, had zero interest in talking about. Not even that it's about Melania Trump. I generally don't care about most documentaries about people that are currently alive and don't have something extraordinary about them. For example, I did talk about the Goodbye Horses documentary, and that was about somebody who really should have been a name that people knew. There was an exceptional circumstance to that. But Melania Trump, it's about her 20 days, I guess, getting ready to go back to the White House. But outside of that, who cares? Honestly, I just have zero interest. And it's not even a political thing. I doubt I would care about a documentary about any first lady unless there was some really interesting piece of trivia within it. And by all accounts that I've seen, there is nothing special about this 20 days, except it happens to be about the current president of the United States' wife. And that's really it. It doesn't result in her, curing a debilitating disease or discovering a secret treasure underneath the ballroom or whatever that would make this type of documentary seem to have some kind of hook. It's just about Melania Trump. So again, I really didn't have any interest in talking about it, except I happened to hear a report about how much money has been invested in this movie by Amazon Studios. So it's reported that they got it for $40 million, which by itself is a tremendous amount of money. And then they're spending another about $30 million in promoting it, a movie that almost nobody expects to do any serious box office, because documentaries, forgetting about polarizing figures or not, they don't generally make a lot of money, again, unless there's something exceptional about them. And I can find nothing that indicates that there is something really special about this particular documentary that would give it some kind of, it's not as if, again, a documentary about somebody who'd been on death row for 30 years and then was found to have never actually committed the crime. Okay, there's a human interest hook. Or the one that I talked about with the woman who did the memorable song from Silence of the Lambs. Okay, that's a memorable thing that nobody knew who this person was, and they didn't have a career they probably should have had more success at. Those are how you get people invested, but nothing that I've read or seen about this indicates any of that outside of the celebrity of being the president's wife. And again, it's not even a political thing. It's just, well, what do we care? 20 days to the White House. So what? It's not as if she fended off assassins in that 20 days or something. It's just she got ready to get into the White House again. Okay, but looking at it from the other side, it is yet another strange decision that Amazon is making in terms of their movie and TV acquisition properties. Of course, Lando will not ever shut up about how much he was disappointed by Rings of Power. He certainly wasn't alone. There was a big amount of money involved in that. They've had several other weirdly high-profile misfires in recent years. And I've seen people say, oh, well, this is clearly Amazon's buttering up the president to announce some kind of business initiative that might otherwise meet resistance. And there's certainly evidence to think that that would be a plan. But even so, this is the best thing they could come up with? Releasing a documentary that will probably vanish 15 seconds after it's released in the public consciousness to butter up the president? I suppose it's possible that you could consider that a smart business play, but it doesn't feel like it's even that intentional. It just feels like they're throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks. And it has felt that way in terms of Amazon for quite a while now. So I'm sort of mystified by it. If it had been something relatively cheap, then it would make sense. But to spend this amount of money on it after a number of other, again, high-profile failures, it doesn't indicate to me that there is a cabal of really clever businessmen who are crafting a long-term strategy to manipulate a high-powered individual into allowing them to seize more wealth and profit through machinations and deeply entrenched plans and manipulations. It comes off more that Amazon has never figured out, and this may not be much of a surprise given that their real business motive is just to sell people crap they don't need. So maybe it isn't a shock that what all these things seem to indicate is that Amazon has never really had any type of plan for their streaming service. And based on this decision, as well as many that came before it, I don't think they've cracked it, and maybe they never will. Later.